Devine here. Hope you're doing fabulous as always. So guys, today I wanted to talk to you about time and rhythm and how they affect our lives and what we can do to improve our lives moving forward. And we're going to get into that right after this. Welcome back. So yes, time and rhythm. You know, when we stop and think about time, what do we normally think about? We look at a clock and we say, oh, it's 8 o'clock. But have you ever thought about time as something that's passive, something that has a rhythm, and something that actually propels you, because it's the only thing that you can't change really in this universe. You cannot stop time, right? You cannot change time. You know, it is going to continue to beat to its own drum. It is going to be there whether you want it to or not. And what we take for granted is time. We don't understand that there are only so many hours in your life that you have available to live. And when you really stop and think, wait a second, I'm how old? Now I'm not guaranteed tomorrow. So what should I be doing today with my life? What could I be doing right now that would help improve my life, help improve the life of my family, of my children, help improve everything that I'm doing in this world right this moment? You see, guys, when you stop and think about time, you first have to understand that, you know, it is a motion. It is something that is constantly moving, right? It's just like a beat. You know, when you listen to music, you start getting into that beat. You get into that rhythm, right? The earth rotates on a constant rhythm. How we're able to know what the time is, right? We know everything is because it is on a rhythm that is happening. It's just like when you're sending these waves out so you can talk to someone on the cell phone, right? These wavelengths are going out on a certain rhythm, on a certain platform, or what do they call that? Anyway, they're going out on wavelength, and so they're being transferred to another cell tower that's coming to your cell phone at instantaneous time, right? So time and rhythm go hand in hand. Now, when you stop and think about where you're at in your life right now, what could you do differently? Now, guys, listen very carefully. First things first, you have to change the rhythm of your life. You cannot stay in the same rhythm and expect different results. Okay? So when you look at, wait a second, I know that there are, when somebody dies, there's two numbers on that gravestone, right? The day they were born and the day they died, right? We all know this, right? But what's the most important part about that? It's that tiny little dash in the middle. That tiny little dash represents what you did with your life. And how are people going to remember you when you're gone? What legacy are you leaving for your children's children? What are you doing to make an impact on this world? You see, I chose my slogan based off of that dash. Changing the world one person at a time. Because all I need to do is understand that I have the ability. I have to understand that everything I do, I want people to remember the dash. I don't want them to remember the day I was born. I don't want them to remember the day I died. I don't care about that. You know, when we look at people like George Washington and Martin Luther King and all these different people, you might not remember what the day they were born or the day they died, but you remember the legacy that they left behind, right? And when you're stopping and thinking about this, what beat are you drumming to? What rhythm are you moving in? Right? Because time is only against you. You only have so much time here on this planet. And the reason you're here, you got to stop and ask yourself, why am I here? What is it about this time or this place, this time, why was I placed here? Why did I beat out all those other sperm cells to get to this place right now? And when you stop and think about it, that means that there's something there, there's something special that you're supposed to be doing, right? You have to understand that there is a rhythm that you have not been flowing in probably to your fullest potential yet, okay? Because we all know that there's something more for each and every one of us. That's the thing that keeps us going, right? Whether that's something, you might be extremely wealthy, but that's something that keeps you going is knowing that, you know what, I need to raise my kids. Or that's something that might keep you going is that business that you build, that you want to leave that legacy. That something might be that you want to minister to people around the world. Whatever it is, are you beating to the right drum? Is your rhythm in time? Because guys, let's be honest. I remember when I was young and I used to go to the nightclubs there and try to get out there and dance. Man, I looked like a fool because my rhythm was never very good. All right? So when you stop and think about that, do you want to be around people that are in that same rhythm? You see, what we have a tendency to do, because we came from the ground, right? We came from the dirt, realistically. And whatever you came from is always going to try to pull you down to it, right? So you have to understand that, wait a second, if I want more for my life, I have to get on a new rhythm because time is going against me right now, right? So I have to get on a new rhythm to be able to get to a new plateau. And when you realize that, that means you have to leave things behind. That means you have to position yourself to make those necessary changes. That means you have to get into that place where you're looking inward and get past those things that have held you back. You know, oh my God. Guys, we know, and I've said this before, 85% of Americans go to jobs that they hate. But yet they do it because they're so stuck in that rhythm. And they're not understanding. They're not understanding that rhythm is holding them back. That rhythm is not positioning them to where they need to be in life. And what we tend to do is we tend to stay where things are comfortable. We tend to stay where that rhythm is something that we're used to. But we need to get into a new rhythm. If you're dancing to that slow song, you need to get out there and start getting into that groove, right? You need to understand that it's time to grind. It's time to do the things other people aren't willing to do. It's time to be more successful today than that person who's not willing to give what I'm willing to give. Because time is not on my side. I have to be the best version of myself today. I have to understand that tomorrow's not promised. And I need to understand that I need to leave a legacy for that dash in between my gravestone. And then guys, then you can make a difference in this world. It's not about how much money you have. Who cares if you had all the money in the world but you didn't leave a legacy? That legacy determines how your kids will be treated. Stop and think about this. That legacy will determine how your kids will be treated. Oh my God. But guys, listen to me. This is important, and you guys need to understand that no matter what you do, Time is against you, and there's a rhythm to everything. And if you're stuck in the same rhythm, it's time to listen to some new music. It's time to do new things. It's time to get out of that comfort zone. It's time to be the person God created you to be. Come on now. Guys, hope you got something out of this video. I'm gonna cut it off here. Otherwise, I'm gonna go back into my old days and start preaching, right? So anyways, guys, I'm here to give you that spirit of increase, because I know if I give you that spirit of increase, I know it will change your perspective. And if you change your perspective, you will change your life. And guys, that's when we make this model happen. We're going to change this world one person at a time. We're going to leave a legacy for our children, and understand that time waits for nobody. Make a decision today. Get on a new beat. Get around new people if you have. I don't care what you need to do. You got to get out of your comfort zone and make it happen. All right, guys, as always, make sure you create yourselves a fabulous day.